Okay, so if I'm correct, it looks like I'm live, so hello everyone, this is Secret Island of Dr. Quandary. This is an edutainment point-and-click game from 1992. Pretty obscure, although I've been playing it, oh gosh, at least 20 years, on and off. I first discovered it in elementary school computer lab. I guess I can get right into it. Game starts. Timing starts as soon as you click on. As soon as you click here to begin toggle shoot. Every game starts with a toggle shoot. The idea is you're supposed to shoot 10. I guess I'll go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so you're supposed to shoot 10 of what's in the target, but that takes too long, and it's really heavily luck based. So what I do instead is I just throw it. You lose 3 times, and he takes pity on you and lets you pick one of those 3 dolls at the top. Those dolls are Beginner on the left, Nary on the right, and Beak Holt in the middle. We're taking Nary. As the punny names might indicate, they are the varying difficulties. You're supposed to pick up that letter in the bottle, but there's no sense in doing that. We don't need it. So first trial we're gonna do is this is Tire Tower. It is Tower of Hanoi. If any of you are familiar with that. If you're not, it's what it looks like right now. You're trying to stack tires from biggest on bottom to smallest on top. You can't put you can't put a bigger tire on top of a smaller tire. So that's pretty simple. Now we're doing Headstrong Hop. This is moving left to right, and you're gonna try and knock the notes up onto the score above. Oop. There's a, as you can kind of see, you can't necessarily take this for granted. There's a little shortcut that I am going to take for this. At the end, for completing it, you get a rose, and as soon as you pick up the rose, you can actually hit the hotkey to run away, and you can keep the rose, which I'm going to do now. It saves having to walk across the stage, so a couple of seconds right there. Alright, and this is Disappear. This is like the old game of Nim. Basically, you're trying to get her to take the last CD, like that. That was a very lucky. It was a very lucky draw in terms of how that goes. Usually, that could be terrible. This is now. This is like Simon Says. You basically try to copy the pattern he's doing. This one, like a couple other mini games, is a lot more interesting casually, because I'm not going to be talking too much here because I do need to focus. If you mess up, it can lose you an indeterminate amount of time because you have to start all over. As well as missing drops can lose you an indeterminate amount of time too, because you often have to wait for the cup to cycle back underneath it. So right now I have 2, 2, 5, 5, 4. If I can get these drops to land. 2, 5, 5, 4, and what's the next? 5. So, not a hard pattern to remember, at least. That's really about the best you can hope for, is when you're playing this, is just hope to get a pattern that's not hard to remember. 2, 2, 5, And that's it. After 7 drops on Nary, you're done. Beginner only goes to 5, and Difficult goes to 10. Goes to 10 numbers. This is Waxy Buildup. This is one of 3 Tangram puzzles that you do. Really not a whole lot you can say about this, other than, you know, it's Tangrams. Although I guess I could note that sometimes the Tangram puzzles in this can be a little frustrating, because sometimes the game likes to get finicky about where you place them. Thankfully that didn't happen here. I noticed in my experience that that candle tends to be the most finicky. This is a second of 3 Tangram puzzles you do. This one, you're building a door. Rather peculiar looking door at that, but a door all the same. This one generally isn't all that finicky, although sometimes it can just trip you up. And what I'm actually going to do is a little shortcut here. I'm going to go back, and now we're into purely luck, well, mostly luck-based game, Acid Test, and there's a luck right there. Generally, if I'm doing PB attempts, I will try to get this within 3 attempts, which I'm on now. If I don't get it by the 3rd, I'll reset. But you can see you can already kind of see right now how this particular trial can be incredibly frustrating. Okay, now that one was my fault. That one I walked right into it. At least that time I managed to grab it. This is pretty rough. Oh hey, but there we go. There's a shortcut right there. After you pick it up, if you get shot by the blue jets, and only the blue jets, it explodes and you get credit with completing it, and you can't replay it. Now this is Tax Factor. This one you're trying to take tokens, and he picks up the tokens that are factors of that. For instance, I picked up 23, which is prime. He could only pick up 1. I picked up 25. He picked up 5. I picked up 9. Now he picks up 3. And so, this is well, it's a math game. So the idea is after all the pieces, you want to take all the pieces you can, and after all the pieces are cleared from the board, if you have more than he does, if you have more than he does, you win, and you get that tax rebate. By the way, that is actually the only thing you need the token bag that I picked up at the very beginning for. Now this is numlock. This is, you're guessing the combination. It's trivially easy on beginner, because beginner gives you only let's see. Okay, so let's try 430. No, it might be 410, huh? There it is. And this one actually wasn't. This one was actually fairly quick too. Basically, you just guess the numbers, and as you can tell, I kind of have a way of figuring that out. It's not all that scientific. This is now Frogmeister. This was another one that is frustratingly luck dependent, like you see right there. It's all in the wind. What I'm trying to do is I hit the fly with the rock like that, and I'm trying to chuck it into that jewel in the frog mouth up there to open the grate. And now that I've done that, I'll toss some popcorn at the bird so I can get by the bird, and now I'll get in and I get frog eggs. And that's about all there's to say about that. And now we're going to do a cave. Tunnel vision. This one, well, it's a maze. Like the others, it can be very luck-based, based on the layout. And it looks like luck is not going to be too kind today. Figures. Something I guess I could say is that the controls are a little counterintuitive to what you see on the screen here, because your controls are based on that point of view window on the left, not the map that you have on the right. And in fact, if you come here and try to do this before you've done the candle tangram puzzle, you don't even have that little mini map on the right. So you can kind of imagine how frustrating that would be, especially because after you do it, especially because if you actually Iron Man that and do it without the candle, well, it was all for nothing. You get only the moss from the cave walls, but you don't get the candle turned into a melted pile of wax, which is what you do need at the end of this game. Yeesh. Okay, so that was moderately dragged out. Now let's get on to the final Tangram puzzle, and building a boat. In my experience, I've noticed that this one actually tends to be one of the least frustrating in terms of placement. It's actually, the boat puzzles tend to be incredibly forgiving. And with that, I've now completed all the trials. Let's get a fixer elixir. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention, we got trapped in the body of that doll. That's why we're now that doll that we picked up at the carnival. We need the fixer elixir to get our body back, which I'm now going to do. There are 12... I think there's about 12 trials. Yeah. Now let's just empty our pocket, aside from the gum and the tokens. And let's hit the bellows. There's 12 trials, or about 12 items that you need to get, but 12 tends to be a lot, so it's actually easier to memorize the few items that you don't need. And that's time. Time is when he steps on the top ladder. This looks like to be a 12:03. So, it kind of makes sense given the luck that I had and some of the poor execution that I had as well. But there we go, we won Secret Island of Dr. Quandary. Got my own body back. Hooray. I am the world record holder on beginner difficulty with 625, I believe. It's been quite a while since I played beginner. And I'm the world record holder in, on not Defy Cold. I only play that on casual, but I am the world record holder for, Nary as well. It's a pretty good, it's a fairly mild speed run, a good way to kill about 10 minutes or so. And as you can see, it's got a few luck-based trials to keep it interesting. And if anyone wants to play it, feel free to contact me on any of my various outlets, you know, whether I'm streaming this or streaming something else or whatever. It'd be nice to have new players. But in any case, that's Secret Island of Dr. Quandary. Hope you all enjoyed the run as much as I enjoyed playing it for you.